What's with Brandon Routh and being a deadbeat dad? It's like he's being typecast. Hey everybody, this is David, and today I'm going to be talking about Legends of Tomorrow, Season 1, Episode 10, Progeny. And what did I think about this episode? This was a really fun one. I had a lot of good fun with it. And here we go. What did I think of it? First, we have the Legends going to the future like they said last time. And a lot of them have, a lot of the characters have something to do in this episode. Some of the characters are planning on killing this 14-year-old kid because this kid who they're going after might have something to do with some trouble that's in the future because he's being taken in by Vandal Savage as a protege. So the team decides, well, maybe, we better get rid of this kid. And Rip tries to at the end, but resists and says, you know what, I'm a good guy, I can't kill this kid. It doesn't matter what he becomes in the future and what he's involved with in the future. I can't do it because that's what good guys don't do. They don't kill kids. They have hope for them and hope that they'll turn out to be good people one day. But unfortunately, this kid, he's kind of like not as bad as Joffrey, but he doesn't grow up to be a good kid. Let's just put it that way. I actually really enjoyed that storyline today because it kind of brought some interesting dynamics to a superhero show. Like, killing a kid is this is a heavy subject that this TV show is dealing with. And it's something Arrow came up with too, but it was on the bad guy's point of view. And you expect bad guys to do that sort of stuff, right? With this, it's on the hero side of it, and even Rory kind of brought up, hey, you know what, killing kids, that's not such a hero thing to do, when he was talking to Sarah while he was still in the prison. So that was, it came up with some interesting topic of debates for the good guys to think about a lot. Not only that, but we also get a little fun with Brendan Routh's character, like I mentioned earlier, the Atom, Ray Palmer, thinking that maybe he has a son out there that he never even knew about because he meets his supposed great-great-great-granddaughter, who he later finds out by the end of the episode, which I thought it was a little fun payoff, that, it's his twin brother's great-great-great-granddaughter. So I thought that was actually handled quite well. But when he kind of was going through it, the idea that he could have a son out there that he never even knew of made me laugh because I kind of thought back to Superman Returns, which that was kind of the case in that movie. And I love Superman Returns, by the way. So if you didn't know that, just wanted to point that out. And I thought that was a funny little connection back. But then we find out in the episode that he was not, in fact, the father, that he actually has a twin brother out there. Who knew? I don't know if he ever mentioned that on Arrow before. But it looks like Ray has a twin brother that eventually works with Felicity if he never got back to 2016. So I wonder if we'll ever meet him on either show. That would be interesting. Meanwhile, Kendra is getting flashbacks of her past life with Carter. It looks like it was during the 1930s or 40s or 50s with their son that we met at the beginning of this season, who was much older during the 70s. But now we get to see him as a little boy during, I think it was the 50s. It might have been the 50s or the 40s. I don't remember now. And because of that, Kendra is starting to feel like maybe she's cheating on Carter a little bit because she's had so many relationships with him. And, Ray, this is her first, one of her new relationships. Although it feels like they're forgetting about Cisco already so quickly. I mean, I know that she only had, 1 or 2 episode dates with Cisco. But still, come on, man. It's Cisco. You can't forget about him. I want to see an episode so badly where the next big crossover event, whenever it's going to be, I hope Brendan Routh, what's his name? Ray, Cisco, and Carter are all there. I don't know how they'll bring Carter back, but I hope all 3 of them are there, and she has to choose between the 3 of them, and it'll turn out to be something like the Bachelorette or something like that. I don't know. I think that will be funny. So, having just a scene like that will make me laugh for sure, especially with Cisco and Ray. We also have Snart and Rory finally working out their differences at the end here of the episode. After some pushing, some convincing from Sarah. Sarah, I love Sarah, man. She's like the voice of reason on this show. She's like giving advice to Rip Hunter. She's giving advice to Snart. She's giving advice to Rory, telling everyone, come on, guys, we gotta, she's the one knocking everybody on their heads and giving the right things to say to them, and hoping they'll make the right decisions. And that's what I love about Sarah. But the only thing that I was kind of hoping for, since they were in the future, I was hoping maybe Sarah would read up on Arrow or her ex team, I guess, Team Arrow, and find out what's happened to them, because I was kind of hoping, because of yesterday's episode with Laurel dying, you'd think there would be something that would be kind of showing Sarah, hey, someone in your family's dead at this point in time when you get back there. So I'm curious at how they'll handle that, because Sarah is going to have to eventually find out that Laurel has died. And when that time happens, we know there's going to be an episode with Felicity coming up soon. And so I'm very curious to see how that information will come to Sarah, because she's going to react somewhat. Of course, like I was mentioning, we get Rory and Snart finally duking it out, getting their anger out from each other, and it looks like Snart got the shit beaten out of him. And Rory didn't look like he even had any blood, because Snart was all bruised and bloodied up. Well, Rory came out okay. He's just like, yeah, you know what, I was about to kill you, but then he laid off and he was like, okay, you know what, I'm getting a change of heart. Sarah was right about me. And so, yeah, he explains to the team, look, we're all in trouble no matter what, because now the Time Lords, they're after all of us because I failed to bring you in. So they're going to come after all of us no matter what. And what's the best thing to do? They say run. And it looks like from the preview from next week, they're going to run to the Wild Wild West. And not the movie with Will Smith, so don't get that confused. We're going to Jonah Hex. Another bad movie, but that's fine, because hopefully they can redeem this DC character who was last played by Josh Brolin in the 2010 Jonah Hex film. Yeah, I'm very excited to check out next week. Jonah Hex is an interesting character. I've seen him in Batman the Animated Series as well, so it's going to be fun to see that character be brought to life. I really enjoyed this episode, guys. I'm giving this episode an 8 out of 10. I thought that it brought up some interesting questions, like should they kill this kid or shouldn't they? Because if they did, they wouldn't be heroes. That wouldn't justify themselves. They would look like murderers for killing an innocent kid who has time to change his life as time goes on. Unfortunately, the kid doesn't change his life, and he still goes with Vandal Savage to the way of the dark side. Like that Star Wars reference, just in time for Rogue One. And yeah, so it brought some cool stuff, especially the Rory and Mick stuff. That was really cool. I like the Kendra stuff that was going on, the Rey stuff. Everything in this episode was really enjoyable. I think the characters that had the least to do was Firestorm, the two halves of Firestorm. They were just along for the ride, and I enjoyed it, guys. I thought it was a great episode. Can't wait for next week. Can't wait to see them redeem Jonah Hex, I hope. And maybe I should do a review on Jonah Hex, the movie. That would be fun, interesting. So, yeah, until next week, guys. Can't wait. Hope you join me. Subscribe to my channel, because I review every episode of Arrow, The Flash, and Legends of Tomorrow. And like this video if you agree with me. Don't dislike it. That button sucks. And follow me on Twitter and Facebook. All of that will be in the description box below. And until next time, take care.